And
Really good.
all right, and we're live. All right, MFBA LO Hangout. I think this is number 2. We got Jim Prince all the way from the East Coast. I can't remember which side of the bay, but you're over there in Maryland on the, I think in the ocean side of the bay. So, welcome, Jim. I'm going to spend a few minutes asking you some questions, but I guess first introduce yourself. Let everyone know who you are, what you do, and why you're here today.
All right, I'm Jim Prince. I'm with NLC Loans. My office is in Crofton, Maryland, which is actually on the not the ocean side of the bay, but I do live on the eastern shore, on the ocean side of the bay, as you mentioned earlier. But I guess I'm here just to kind of answer some questions about how I built my business, and then I think that's kind of what you started to talk about last week, what you maybe wanted me to touch on. So I'll do the best that I can as far as my structure, how I got started, how I built, and everything like that. A little bit of background about me. I grew up out on the West Coast, out in Tacoma, Washington. So that's almost out of Seahawks camp for people who've seen me in Seahawks gear. And grew up really, really poor. Both parents were drug addicts, welfare. We were homeless for a couple of years. I mean, living under a bridge, living in station wagons, all kinds of stuff. So to get where I've come today, it's definitely a long, long way from where I started from. I'll kind of touch on that a little bit later, but when I talk about like how I got my success and where I'm at now, Ryan posted something the other day about our upper limit that we kind of set on ourselves, and I had that upper limit for a long time. Once I finally realized that I could break through it, I just kind of kept on going and never stopped. But that's pretty much my backstory. I'm a mortgage lender now. I'm producing branch manager for NLC Loans. I'm also a father of 2 children. I'm divorced. I am going to be married here in August. I'm a high school football coach as well. I coach high school football for the South River Seahawks. So it's fitting. I'm a Seahawks fan. I'm coaching for the South River Seahawks. But that's pretty much it. Anything that I can do to help anyone in the group.
Cool.
All whether it's building their own business, getting started out on their own, or just general underwriting questions. I mean, I'm here to help.
Cool. So I guess the thing that was intriguing when I was starting to learn a little bit more about you is that you were just an LO out there slinging loans, and then you decided, what, I'm going to try to elevate those around me. I'm going to try to get more people in my fold, and kind of use the skills I have to help others make money. And in return, that's paid you back tenfold. So what kind of made you start going down that path, and what would you tell anybody else that's working on hiring either other loan officers or other team members to kind of build their team or their revenue streams, I guess.
Yeah. Well, what kind of got me on that path? I've always really kind of had like this entrepreneurial mindset that I always wanted to kind of like work for myself, own something, build something. Very good at sales, my whole life. I got in the mortgage industry at a really young age. In 2002, I was 23 years old, I think, when I got in the mortgage industry. And like my very first month there with no experience, they just handed me a call list and a phone and said, go make some calls. And like $15,000 in my very first month. I didn't know any better. I just did what I was told. And so I was hooked like from the very beginning. I was down in Orlando, Florida. I ended up opening my own mortgage company in Florida in April of 2007. Very, very, very bad timing for me. Also, I got my team in subprime loans, so that's really all I knew. I didn't know anything about Fannie Mae or Ginnie Mae, any conventional loans or FHA deals. All I knew was subprime and like all-day type lending. So I started a mortgage broker shop in Orlando in 2007, April. Spent a ton of my own money getting into it. Didn't really know a whole lot about leveraging other people's money, things like that. And in July, when the market kind of fell apart, I realized I was in trouble. I tried to learn FHA and tried to get FHA approved and tried to learn conventional financing, stuff like that. But by the time I felt like I kind of had it down, it was already too late. I was pretty much bankrupt. I was broke. I couldn't afford my office lease anymore.
So wait, you were one of the characters in that Big Short movie? Was that based on you?
I haven't seen the movie yet, but it may be, to be honest with you. I lost my ass. Bottom line, I totally lost my ass. I was dead broke, bankrupt, no income coming in, and didn't know what to do. I broke my legs, and I moved back to Maryland because at least I had some family here that would, watch my kids, so I could get free daycare. And I went back to work for a mortgage company here in Maryland, and I learned from one of the best, this guy named Guy Blonder. If you look on the, I don't remember the magazine, but they basically post like the top 300 loan originators in the country. He's like top 10 every year. And he's very young. I would work for him, and I learned a lot from him. I was a really good salesperson before. He taught me how to be a good mortgage loan originator, and just taught me a lot about marketing to your existing database, leveraging what you have available at your disposal.
Nice.
And what him was, I learned also what not to do as like a business owner. He was more concerned about his own personal production, and well, he should be because he makes $1 million a year just on doing his own loans. But he didn't really care about his team at all. Like we were kind of like figure it out yourself kind of thing. So like I determined that if I was to start a team, I would never ever want my loan officers in that position. I wanted to pay them what they were worth, and also make sure that they had every tool at their disposal in order to make as much money as possible and have it all in my order to do so. So eventually I broke apart from him, and as a branch manager, it was just a small little branch. It was basically just me. I ended up going to work for a company, and I was sharing an office space with another branch manager in that company, and that's when I met Jared Vogt, who who's a member of this group now as well. And he was just getting back into the business because he got out of the business in 2007. But he's a really good salesperson, a good officer. He was just getting back into the business, had a ton of questions, didn't really know what to do, and his manager decided that he just never wanted to come to work. So he kept coming to me for questions, things like that. Eventually, I was like, look, man, I definitely don't mind helping you, but you are taking up a lot of my time, so I should probably leave a little bit from this as well. So why don't we talk to the corporate about maybe you joining my branch instead of the one you're in now? So he came in and he joined me. And honestly, that was a great match because where I lack in organization and things like that, like he really, really picked up. So we were kind of like yin and yang, in the mortgage industry, and we did really, really well as a team.
So wait, not to interrupt you, but you're saying you're not very organized. You kind of you cut right through my soul when I heard you say that. So by nature, you're not that organized, but you learned to be, or you learned from somebody else.
I'm learning to be. Yeah, I'm not organized at all. Like, here, see my desk.
Nice. Nice.
So, I'm not organized at all.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I think it's a learned behavior. Growing up as a kid, like I was homeless. Like we didn't even have a home, so we weren't friggin' organized. We didn't have anything going for us. I had my stuff in a plastic bag most of the damn time. So like I'm learning like throughout life that a lot of these are learned behaviors. So even though I'm not very organized as an adult, I'm learning to be. I'm getting better at it. There's different things that I do that I make myself do. I'm starting to use Outlook and the calendars and the Gmail calendars a lot more for my others and reminding me of my different appointments because like I was always fly by the seat of my pants guy like, oh yeah, you want to do that Tuesday? Sure, no problem. And I totally forget that I already had 2 other appointments on Tuesday.
Right.
Just fighting really just because I was not organized at all.
Right.
So Jared really helped me a lot with organization. I helped him a lot with his sales and marketing and just developing relationships with realtors and things like that. So long story short, we started growing the branch. Jared has a couple of offices underneath of him, so he's my sales manager. He's a producing sales manager. He does all basically like outbound type business, so all out calls, all real estate business, 100% referral type business. I also have another sales manager, Matt, who is my lending tree team. So we have a lending tree team where we purchase a bunch of lending tree leads. We actually do the home equity flip. So the people who are applying for home equity line of credit on lending tree, they're a lot cheaper than the regular refinance loan leads. They're only $37 as compared to like $78. And it's people who need cash. They're wanting to get a home equity line of credit. Well, if they got below a 60 credit score, they're not getting approved for home equity line of credit anyways. So we put them into like an FHA cash out refinance. And so we decided, like I was able to recruit Matt from another company here. He was I've known him for a couple of years, and I knew he was a good loan officer. He was making 6 figures, and basically doing these lending tree flips. So I just kept recruiting him. Eventually, his entire branch was making a change from one company to another. So he was like, since I got to make a change anyways, I may as well, visit what you have. So we talked, and I was able to talk him into coming on as a sales manager. And what we basically did is we hired a team of loan officers with no experience at all. and we teach them to do it the way that he does it. So we brought in 4 guys, no experience. I give them all a salary, $3,000 a month for the first 3 months, just to kind of get them going. So we teach them the business, get them to pass their state test and get licensed, and then basically turn them loose on the world. And it paid off. I took a very, very big risk. If it didn't pan out, I was out $48,000 basically on $9,000 per person on salaries, plus I paid for the licensing, education, all that good stuff. So I basically took about a $50,000 risk. I've always been a risk taker. I'm not afraid. I think since I grew up with no money at all, I'm not afraid to lose money. I know I can get by with little to nothing, so I'm not afraid to take risks. And not all my risks have panned out. In 2007, it didn't pan out, but last year it definitely did for me. So, as far as my structure now, so I'm on producing manager. So I don't put any loans in my name, but that allows me to basically share in the profits of the branch. The other thing that allows me to do is pretty much control my branch. I mean, obviously, I have compliance that we have to deal with regulations, things like that. But at the end of the day, all the money that comes in and all the money that goes out is my money. So whatever is left over and above what I pay the loan officers, I have to play with. I use that for marketing to pay all our bills, leases, things like that. The company takes their cut right off the top, off of our rates. But I do monitor the rates every single day. I compare them with other people every single day to make sure that we're staying competitive. And I have total control over that. I prefer that over a producing manager. A lot of times as a producing manager, your company's going to control your rates and tell you what you have to sell and what your par is and things like that. I have all that flexibility. If I need to take an exception on a loan to match, movement mortgage or whoever may be cheaper than me at the time, then I can just take the exception. I don't have to ask anybody for it. I keep a cushion basically in the P&L, 2 months of reserves. So my operating costs here are about $40,000 a month. So I got to keep $80,000 in the P&L. Anything over and above $80,000, I can take as a profit anytime I want as a profit bonus. So I kind of decided that I was going to go with the Henry Ford principle. I would rather make 1% of 100 different people's efforts than 100% of my own. And I took a big pay cut when I first made that choice. So when I first switched to non-producing, I did take a pay cut because, well, for one, because I brought in enough loan officers with no experience. These sales guys, they were all good salespeople, but they just had no experience. I brought them in and I gave them a salary. That's money that I could have been paying myself. That I know how to give to somebody else to train them, teach them. People didn't work out. I have had a little bit of turnover. I lost a little bit of money on a couple people, but the money that I've made, bringing in the other people who brought them in has been way more than that. So I can't complain.
What's the first thing you do when you hire somebody? Would you send them to a specific course? Do you have your own training, or what's your standard setup?
You're breaking up for back.
Oh, sorry. I was just wondering what you do when you first hire somebody. Like, do you send them to courses or do you teach them yourself?
Well, basically, so I do what I call the quick start training, and that's actually originated from my subprime days. I was in subprime mortgages and became branch manager for Aegis Lending. They actually did a quick start program where you basically can do a crash course and teach somebody the mortgage industry in 5 days. Okay. I ended up actually teaching them classes. They would fly me out to Houston or LA or basically whatever area of the country had the most new hires at the time. They would fly me out there and I would help teach that class. So I took a lot of knowledge from that, and as far as just being able to teach people, and most of it still applies. I mean, the guidelines are a little bit different today, but for the most part, LTD is still LTD, DTI is still DTI, etc. So with their first weekend here, we basically do a combination for a couple hours a day. I'll teach them what they're going to need to know. The basics of the mortgage industry stuff that they'll probably learn from 20-hour course, but just getting into the head more and more. And then I'll shadow the other on my sales floor for a couple hours, and we'll do that for basically a week. And then after that first week, I'll get them on the 20-hour course. We've been using Training Pro, but some of my guys have been having no passing the test after using Training Pro, so I'm looking for a better course now. If anybody has any recommendations, and basically get them through their 20-hour education and get them signed up to taking their test. Once they pass the test, then we actually start having them act as junior loan originators. So they'll take the first calls from lending, make the initial call, they'll talk to them about their goals and their wants and things like that, and just basically get basic information to the application. Then we turn it over to one of the senior loan officers who are already licensed. They call the person back, they talk to them about the loan, pitches, etc. And they're shadowing them the whole time they're on the floor. Once their license is approved, because it takes about a month to get both the federal and the state licenses done. Once the licenses are approved, then we actually start letting them try to sell the deals that they pitched, that they could get on themselves. My sales manager Matt, he's fantastic at it. At basically just teaching the guys to do it like he does. He's very, very successful. He has a regimented way of doing it. It's like a pre-call system, and it works. And we beat the pants off quick and all the time by doing it. And so he just teaches those guys that.
Nice.
I teach them the basic mortgage fundamentals and the underwriting guidelines, and he teaches them how to sell two-way lending, trade home equity.
So I think this is kind of the money question. This is the big one. We got all these people in this group that are, one person teams, two people teams. And some of them perhaps don't aspire to have as big of a setup as you have. But, I guess where they tend to get stuck is, what do I do to get from being the guy in the street with maybe myself an assistant or half assistant to that next level where I've got, all kinds of resources and really what would you tell anybody to do, outside of, don't make the mistakes I made, but what did you really do, or what did you learn that you think is important for all these folks that are kind of right there? I mean, I know you're taking new loan officers in, but at some point you were a seasoned vet that made a transition, and that's where a lot of people in our group are at. I mean, they're seasoned vets. They know as much as a lot of people know, but they can't seem to figure out how to take those next steps. They don't know what's the most important thing to do. And I think they get so wrapped up on the day-to-day that they're really frozen.
Well, the first thing I did was networking. So I found a couple really good loan officers, and I convinced them to come work for them. So that was the first step. I got Jared and I got Matt, and I just recruited them to come in. And
basically, you had an idea, and then you said, "No, I got to execute. I got to find these people. Once I find the people, then I'll have the plan. If I spend all my time analyzing and planning, but I got no people, I got nothing."
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to implement it. So I basically put like a rough draft down of what I wanted to pay people that I recruited and what I want my pricing to be and my structure to be and how it would be profitable. And I just went out and did it. I just started talking to people that I knew were in the business, but I knew were pretty good. And I got a couple good people. You know what I mean? So that gave me basically the revenue that I needed, the revenue stream I needed in order to take like the lead, the step to the next level. So
Gotcha.
The next level was, and I had to like go out and build this sales team. And
right.
I prefer to bring in all brand new salespeople with no mortgage experience because I want them to do it the way that I want them to do. There's a lot of people that have it and they think that they know the best way to sell to a lending tree borrower, and maybe they do, but I know that our way works. So that's the way that we do it. And I want to be able to teach them to do it. And if they don't have any bad habits because they don't know better already, they'll come in and do it our way.
Awesome.
And make money. So, but it does take, the way that I did that, building the lending tree team, you got to buy those leads. So they're, $37 a piece, and I'm buying 25 of them a day just for this branch here in Maryland. You know what I mean? So you can do the math on that. Salaries, things like that. So, I mean, there was a couple months, that ramp-up period where I really, really used a lot of my money, a lot of my reserves. So I didn't pay myself very much. I put my salary down to $7,000 a month, I think, from April, May, June, and July last year. I paid myself $7,000 a month, and that's what I basically got buying. And that was a big pay cut for me. I was used to making more than that, producing myself and things like that. So that was a pay cut that I took. But then, August, September, October.
Right.
Well, August, September, the money started coming in and started paying off. So I gave myself some pretty nice bonuses. And then in October, they changed our pay period, our pay plan quarterly year. So October 1st, I changed and I bumped my salary up to $15,000 a month. And then I was still giving myself bonuses over top of that. The money just started coming in. So the big thing though is like not getting complacent. I could have just sat back and taken that money and said, okay, yeah, this is fine, I'm okay with this. But instead, what I did is I opened another branch in Florida. So the guy who actually recruited me into the mortgage industry 14 years ago, he now works for me. He's my branch manager in Florida. He had gotten out of the business, went to back to college, got his MBA. He owns a couple 7-Elevens in Florida. He's a businessman, but he's fantastic developer, some great mortgages. So I started talking to him if he was interested about getting back in mortgages. So I kind of had to teach him the business again, to reteach him like all the new stuff and what's changed. And then we did the same thing down there. We brought on some salespeople with no experience. We gave them a salary for the first 3 months and, get them the license testing. So that branch is just really starting to produce now. It's just starting to pay off. So now once I got the revenue coming in from that branch,
Nice, man.
I'm going to do it again to open up another one. Like, I'm not going to rest on my laurels and just sit back and say, okay, like, I've broken through that upper limit. I placed myself an upper limit. When I was younger, and I thought like $100,000 a year would be fantastic. And I went and got divorced, and I realized $100,000 a year doesn't even frame pay my bills. Being divorced. So I needed to do something to break through and get above that. And I smashed through that plateau and just kept going. Between my different business ventures and things like that, I probably made almost $500,000 last year. My goal is to make at least $1 million this year, and I'm not going to be able to do that just doing the existing business that we're doing now. We have to grow the business more, either by growing and bringing on another sales team and opening up another branch, or just by increasing my existing business here and growing our sales team here, bringing on more people. So, and actually, both of those are my plans. I do plan on growing my sales team here. We're going to bring on 3 new granular loan originators for my lending tree team. I'm going to start recruiting for some experienced loan officers that do all self-generated business to work basically with Jared on his outbound team. And I'm going to try and open another branch in Northern Virginia here this year. So I'm trying to basically grow, twofold that way.
Cool. All right. Hey. Nice. I love it, man. I love just all the energy and all the growth. Do you have anything else for the LOs in the group before we go? We don't want to bore them too long, and we're getting on 20 minutes. So let's. Any final tips? Any gym tricks that you think people really need to pay attention to?
The biggest thing for me is just know your guidelines. Know your guidelines. I have made a living off of knowing the guidelines. I can't tell you how many loans in my career an underwriter tried to turn down for one reason or another, and I was able to get it turned around either through being kind and explaining the guidelines to them, or taking it to mattresses and getting into a fist fight, so to speak. But if you know your guidelines better than anybody else, then you're going to know if you can close a loan or not. And I got to take loans to the president of the company before and get them closed, but I got them closed. And my loan officers see that. They know that. They know that I'm going to go to bat for their loans all the time. And they also know that if I tell them that we can't do that loan, that it means we can't do that loan, and they're just going to move on. So don't polish turds. Know your guidelines. Know them well. And if you can't get a deal done, move on. Move on to the next one. Don't spend a lot of time trying to polish turds. If you want to run a business like I did, get an essay, get a little bit of reserve so you can basically cover your bills for 3 to 6 months and take a risk. Nobody ever hit big without taking a risk unless you won the lottery. You got to take a risk.
I love it, man. I love it. Cool, brother. Well, I'm glad you took a few minutes to join us on the call. I'm super excited you joined us in the closer circle with Ryan, and I'm glad that the LOs can watch this and hopefully pick up some tips from you, and maybe take some of the risks themselves. So I'll let you get back to Maryland, and I'm not going to say a whole lot about the U of M Maryland basketball game. I'm already rubbing it in a little bit, but have yourself a good week. Stay warm, and we'll see you soon, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Thanks for giving me the privilege of doing this, man. I'm really honored by the request, and hope I help somebody. If anybody has any questions about,
you got to practice doing these anyways, man. This is the new thing. Everyone's doing hangouts. You got to practice them.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it. Thanks.
You got it.